Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
I've been keeping an eye on the campaign since the beginning, and I feel like Bernie is almost the voice of my generation, even though he's 50 years older than I am.
An enthusiastic crowd welcomed Senator Bernie Sanders to Fargo this afternoon. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hundreds gathered to hear the presidential candidate explain how he would create a better America. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop joins us live with what Bernie had to say and what the rally was like. Ashley?
Crews are cleaning up, nearly finished from today's rally. The rally started with former TV host Ed Schultz introducing Senator Sanders. Senator Bernie Sanders said if he was elected president, there are several things that he would do. The first is make sure there are better wages for lower and middle class. He'd have a tuition-free education system and a fairer tax system. Now, Senator Sanders says his campaign needs votes along the way, votes from North Dakotans and several others in 7 other states. He says that right now on the campaign trail, he's the only candidate telling the truth.
And if there is any person here thinks that I'm coming to you as some kind of savior, that I'm going to do it all myself, you're wrong. No president, not Bernie Sanders or anybody else, can do it alone. We don't need a savior. We need a political movement when millions of people.
Now, the rally lasted about 2 hours, and as soon as Sanders was done, he was on his way to Bismarck, where he is the next stop, where he will be asking for more delegates to vote for him. In South Fargo at the Ramada, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you so much, Ashley. And Bernie Sanders supporters were feeling the burn of the North Dakota wind as they stood outside and waited to hear him speak. Some traveling hundreds of miles and others getting up at the crack of dawn to get a glimpse of the man hoping to win the Democratic presidential nomination. Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic caught up with Sanders supporters and tells us why they believe he is the best man for the job.
Go Bernie!
Linda Rush drove 4 hours just to see Bernie Sanders speak.
I've been waiting a long time for a candidate like Bernie Sanders.
She joined hundreds of people who waited hours in line to hear the Vermont senator sway North Dakotans to his side.
We've been in line since 7. We really believe in what Bernie stands for. We think that him coming to conservative North Dakota is a really big deal.
With a tight race for the presidential nomination on the Democrat side, candidates are doing everything they can to win delegate votes.
I think it's great that he took time out of his schedule to come and campaign in the red states like North Dakota and South Dakota.
I think it's really important to have the Democratic voice heard because, you know, so tradition is good, but sometimes tradition can be broken.
And they believe Sanders is the best candidate for the job because he's so well researched on the issues.
I like how he thinks for the people and not just the upper class or the lower class. He really thinks about the majority, the people.
The healthcare issue is the biggest issue for me, and that's the one that really grabbed me initially.
The numbers indicate former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is in the lead. But Sanders says he's not giving up anytime soon, something his supporters say shows great character.
He has that perseverance to just keep going no matter where he stands on the presidential election.
In Fargo, Giovanna Simic, Valley News Live.
If you were not able to attend the rally, you can watch it on our website. Just go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. The cold weather has returned. We needed a thicker coat this morning, and some people's outdoor plants will be needing some shelter too. Here's Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with a look at tonight's forecast. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Andrea. It isn't every day when temperatures are in the low 40s that you see snowflakes, but we did see a few flakes in the skies of the FM area as we went through our morning and midday hours, even here into the afternoon, thanks to some cold clouds producing ice crystals. Here is a look at the photo shared with us on our webpage. Springtime snow in Badette. Dean, thanks for sharing. You can upload your photos today. ValleyNewsLive.com. There's a clear spot coming into the north central, northwest corner of North Dakota tonight. The clearing skies and decreasing wind will equate to some bitter cold temperatures tonight. And not every one of those green dots producing just sprinkles of rain. There's a few flakes mixing their way down to the ground. Freeze warning for everyone That doesn't mean everyone will get down to those hard freezing temperatures, though. As we go through the forecast, I'll explain. We're already in the mid-30s in places like Bemidji and Detroit Lakes. Fargo, plan for the 40s, plan for the wind, plan for a flake of snow this Friday night. And then if you have plans for the weekend, I'll tell you what you can expect. But again, take precautions with those plants. If you have apple trees, you know, do your best to try to maybe cover them up if they're small ones. If not, we may end up losing some of those spring plants.
I saw the flakes too, and I couldn't take a photo. I was in denial.
Yeah, I tried to take a photo, but they wouldn't stand still.
Oh, those darn flakes, yeah. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
Public schools are now in the center of the transgender rights controversy. The Obama administration issued new guidelines to allow students to use the bathroom and other facilities based on their gender identity, not their biological sex. The directive comes amid a legal battle between North Carolina and the federal government, which ordered the state to repeal its law requiring people to use bathrooms matching the gender on their birth certificate. The Obama administration is not legally requiring schools to follow the guidelines, but this letter ties compliance to billions of education dollars, and that has some critics angry.
We will not yield to blackmail from the President of the United States.
A court will decide whether North Carolina's law violates Title IX. The White House says the state will continue to receive federal education dollars until the matter is resolved legally. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6, we speak with local students about their opinion on the issue. It's the largest meth bust in Minnesota history, with over 140 pounds discovered in a home. Dolores Castillo and Francisco Silvestre Martinez are charged with possession with intent to distribute in connection with the bust. The meth was discovered at their home in Brooklyn Center during an investigation. Both were later arrested. Authorities found the duo in possession of $130,000 in cash. A 27-year-old Minnesota man is facing charges related to a gas drive-off in Monoman County. Police say Andre Anfilio Fief of Bijou struggled with a deputy after being pulled over in Polk County and then took off. Officers chased him south into Monoman County. He was arrested after officers performed a pit maneuver to stop the car. It's Friday and time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Sean Samples is wanted for felony possession of heroin, methamphetamine, and drug paraphernalia. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on Samples. An emotional day for law enforcement and the community as fallen officers are honored for their service. The annual event comes 3 months after the death of Officer Jason Mosier, who was shot and killed while responding to a domestic disturbance in North Fargo. A tough day, no doubt, for Fargo police than in years past. Mosier, along with other members of law enforcement, were honored for their sacrifice. 128 U.S. flags were the backdrop for the ceremony, each representing a fallen officer. Among the speakers, Senator John Hoeven, who gave thanks.
Thanks to all of you who are in law enforcement for putting yourselves on the line for all of us so that we can be safe here in Fargo, in North Dakota, and across this great nation.
Mosier's name will be engraved on the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. in 2017. Interim UND President Ed Schaefer says his $21 million in budget cuts have positioned the school for a secure future and growth. UND, along with other schools, were forced to make cuts following a state budget shortfall of over $1 billion. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson was there as Schaefer met with reporters today at a somewhat unusual location.
Ed Schaefer used UND's 1908 steam plant as a backdrop to talk about how his new budget will allow upgrades to infrastructure. The new budget will allow $2 million a year to upgrade this plant from coal to natural gas.
As we have reshaped that budget, we see the results, and we are able to invest in the top priorities of our university.
It all meant cutting 138 faculty and staff positions. However, Schaefer says most faculty cuts were achieved through early retirements. He says it means more money to hire more faculty members for the departments that need them, and funding for building upgrades at some of UND's oldest facilities.
We're spending $7 million in classroom renovations and information technology upgrades to O'Kelly and Merrifield Halls.
A 2% tuition increase was also put on the backs of students who have a mixed reaction to all this.
Think students should be paying to make up deficits?
No, the state should pay more for it.
They're going to make money somehow.
Yeah, you can live with it?
I have no choice, so I have no point in arguing about it, I guess.
Schaefer says the increase in tuition will be put into a pool of money that will be used by the College of Arts and Sciences for facility upgrades and more faculty. He says part of that money will be used for student scholarships. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Schaefer says incoming UND President Mark Kennedy has already agreed to back his budget recommendations when Kennedy takes over in July. In Minnesota, it's a big day with lots of change in store for recent MSUM graduates. Today, almost 1,000 students will leave the classroom and enter the workforce, a goal they have been working toward for years. UND and NDSU students will graduate tomorrow. Concordia students graduated at the beginning of the month. It's one of the strangest places around. For this Friday the 13th, traveling the Dakotas, Valley News team's Christy Larson checked out the Cosmos Mystery Area in the Black Hills. The area was discovered in 1952, where people found the gravitational pull made for some strange happenings. The tour will have all ages smiling at balls rolling uphill and tilted floors, making it hard to walk.
I love that they come and they want to do something very different and unique than a lot of the other attractions. So I like that we're so unique to them. And I love that they want to keep coming back year after year. And like we said, generation after generation. So it's just something that seemed like they just can't get enough of it.
The Cosmos Mystery Area is open through October. Tickets are $6 for kids and $11 for adults. A massive